What's up guys, my name is Timbo and thank you so much for clicking on the video. Now, if you're someone like me, then your favorite part of Destiny is the raids. There's something about going into one of them with your friends for the very first time, figuring out the mechanics, exploring for secrets, and beating the damn thing for the first time. Being honest, that in particular is probably my favorite thing to do in any cooperative game I've ever played. Which, as Nick Cage would say, "That's high praise!" And if you see my group do it in Wrath of the Machine, for example, I think after watching it you'll see why. But shameless plugs aside, the new raid is easily the thing that I'm most excited to do in Destiny 2. So far we know very little about it. Practically nothing, actually. But do we? I mean, visually we have about a second or two clip from Bungie's gameplay reveal, but there's really nothing to go off of here. Now I know this video is about the villain in Destiny 2, so hearing me talking about raids might be throwing you off a bit, and that's fine, but I think bringing the raid into this is the easiest way to get started. To me, the raid should be the final battle, the ultimate 1v1 that players have been waiting for the whole game. Or I guess, 6v1? I don't know. If you ask me, I think that the Vault of Glass and the Wrath of the Machine are the best raids in Destiny as far as mechanics, but neither one of them are my favorite raid. My favorite is, well, I'm actually a Prison of Elders guy myself. My favorite raid in Destiny 1 is King's Fall. And it's kind of weird that I say that because it certainly has its problems. I mean, I don't like how the final boss is the same length no matter how good you are at it. I think that while cool, the Hive Gothic theme was starting to overstay its welcome at that point. And while I think they're good, I just don't find some of the encounters as fun or creative as the ones in Wrath of the Machine, for example. But King's Fall is my favorite raid because of how grand and epic it felt. You had been fighting orcs in the campaign, then getting ready in the Taken War quests, and now that your light is high enough, it's time to take him on once and for all in the hardest encounter in the game at that time. And to me that's how it should be. The Vault of Glass and Wrath of the Machine are great raids, but they lack symmetry with the story. The villain in Vanilla Destiny's campaign is the Darkness, and the raid boss is Atheon. In Rise of Iron, it's the same with Siva and Axis. A great thing about the Taken King is that there was a tangible foe to go up against for the entirety of the DLC. In the story missions, quests, strikes, and raid, it was all connected to one discernible antagonist, Oryx, and I really like that. But in a case for the Vault of Glass and Wrath of the Machine, I can see why they're structured this way. I don't know if it's still considered a popular belief, but a majority of people who play Destiny will never touch a raid. And so I can see, in their shoes, why an ending like the one in the Taken King's campaign can be a little bit of a letdown to them. You don't get that satisfying kill on a giant boss as you watch him fall backwards into the rings of Saturn. He kinda just disappears. And for a majority of players, this is the ending to Oryx's story. Despite this, I was really hoping that Ghaul is the raid boss for Destiny 2. I was thinking that maybe you take back the tower. But then Gary escapes and flees in the process. And then the endgame begins as you hunt him down. But after learning about a new character supposedly in Destiny 2's story, I think that there's more layers to this arc than what meets the eye. Something much more sinister. At E3, a new character was introduced called the Consul. No, not the Consul, Consul. And the Consul is described as the mentor of Dominus Ghaul. He apparently led Ghaul to take over Callus, who was the emperor of the Cabal Empire at that time. He also mentors Ghaul through his efforts in attacking the tower, putting the idea in his head that the light of the Guardians belongs to the Cabal in the first place. And it is this character, the Consul, who I think is the true villain in Destiny 2. Going back to what I said earlier about the raids, having a different villain for the campaign and endgame would solve this issue. Those who play the campaign can kill Ghaul and have a satisfying ending for them. And those who want to focus more on the battle, on the true enemy, the man behind it all, the Consul, they can go and fight him in the raid. While they're two separate enemies, they're still connected in the same storyline. This mentor character can best be compared to something like, Star Wars with Darth Vader and Emperor Palpatine, or Kylo Ren and Supreme Leader Snoke. I don't know why I said it like that, but it just sounded cool. Now, the Consul idea might be cool if you haven't heard it before. But in case you already knew who the Consul was and you have the "really" face on right now, that's it, you're asking? Well, I'm gonna take it a step further, because I think that the Consul isn't a new character at all. I think he's someone in the Destiny universe itself. And I'm gonna tell you who. And just as a fair warning, okay, all of this I'm about to say from here on out is just speculation. Based on some contradictory information about the Consul with this theory, I kind of doubt that this will be true, but being honest, if it is, I think it would be a really good plot twist in Destiny 2. Basically what I mean is, let's throw out the fact that the Consul is apparently 800 pounds. Let's assume that we know nothing about him other than the fact that he mentors Ghaul and tells him to invade Earth, that he tells him that the light belongs to him. And on the other side of the coin, I'm just going to say, spoilers ahead. Or potential spoilers, I guess. Because even though I said that I find this, like my Stranger theory, to be unlikely to actually happen, if on the odd chance this is right, I don't want people to get mad at me for ruining this reveal for them. Because I gotta admit, it's pretty good. Like when I heard and thought about this for the first time, I actually gave myself the chills at how much potential a plot twist like this could have. Like, I'm talking BioShock Infinite ending levels of just mind destruction right now. Okay, that's a bit of an exaggeration, but still, it ain't too shabby. Okay, so now that you've had your warnings, now comes the fun part. The Consul. Cue dramatic music. The guy behind Dominus Ghaul. The one pulling the strings. The true villain of Destiny 2 is none other than the Speaker. Now let's go over what we know. First off, just to get these things out of the way, the Speaker is immediately someone who resembles someone who we compared the Consul to earlier in the video. No, not more Consul, goddammit! Emperor Palpatine, an older, wiser, mysterious man who uses an apprentice with the physical attributes to get what he desires. When looking at evidence, there ain't much. But the only thing I have is this. When the tower's getting attacked, the Speaker is conveniently missing. Maybe he wasn't being abducted. Maybe he was just being brought on board to watch his apprentice destroy the tower and take the Guardian's light. In my last video talking about the Stranger, I also mentioned Osiris, and I think Osiris can have a pretty big place in this theory. He was the Speaker's apprentice, but was ultimately exiled from the tower by the Speaker due to their disagreements on philosophy, and ever since they haven't been the best of pals. So what did the Speaker do? He got a new apprentice, someone that wouldn't disagree with him. I mean, the Speaker hasn't been in the story since Vanilla Destiny. What has he been doing all this time in the North Tower? Counting motes? And if you remember what I said in that video, which honestly at this point, you should just go watch, by the way, because this part may be a little hard to follow if you haven't. Don't worry, it's in the cards, I got you covered. I said that Osiris and the Stranger would be hesitant to help the Guardians in the fight against Ghaul because they don't like the Speaker. But what if the Speaker was on Ghaul's side? You could only assume that they'd help in a heartbeat then. So even though the Consul is probably an 800-pound space turtle who has known Ghaul for a long time, making him a known character, in my opinion, would be a much better route for the story. Sure, maybe the Speaker just knows the Consul and was taken because of that, and it's our job to rescue him. But Destiny needs to take some risks. If you remember way back to before Destiny came out, there was that leaked article that apparently had the actual Destiny 1 story, where the Queen's brother was someone named Crow, and the villain was trying to use the Traveler to awaken some hive evil thing or whatever, I don't really remember. But it was the Speaker who was trying to do that. Destiny is a game about the light and the darkness, where the line between good and evil is finely drawn. But what if it wasn't? Some of the best stories I know deal with what's good and what's evil, and I think Destiny is a game that can thrive from this theme. Despite all of the bad things that he does, Ghaul believes that what he's doing is good, that he's simply taking what rightfully belongs to him, the light. Maybe the Speaker thinks so too. Maybe he doesn't think the Guardians are such great people after all. Maybe he's right. So most likely none of this will come to fruition, that Destiny's story won't delve into something deeper than a simple good versus evil story. But you can't deny a final raid boss against the first friendly face you see in Destiny 1 wouldn't be such a bad idea to me. Or they can make the Consul the Cryptarch. I would love to beat his ass. So I want to know what you guys think about the Consul. Do you think it could be someone already in the Destiny universe like the speaker? Or is it just some space turtle? Leave your comments and feedback down below. In case you missed it, make sure to check out my video on the Stranger and Osiris. It's linked like everywhere in this video, so it will be hard to miss. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.